What are the basic characteristics of management accounting? The first characteristic is that it uses the accounting information. As I told you earlier, the accounting information which is available in the financial accounting and cost accounting is utilized in management accounting, and it is being processed or it is being utilized for facilitating the managers for making informed decisions. So the accounting information is available from the first two phases, that is from financial accounting and cost accounting. The second characteristic is that the decision making. In management accounting, we are using the historical information. Why we are or how we are utilizing it? We are utilizing it to see the impact of such information, or such information is utilized by the organization to find out or to forecast what will be the organization in the future. And based on that information or processed information, the organization will take the decisions which they have to pursue in the future period. Then the third characteristic is the internal use of information, or the information which is derived out of management accounting is intended to be used internally only. We are not preparing the management accounting information to be circulated to the outside parties. It is basically utilized within the organization, or it is being utilized by the managers for taking decisions. So the basic intention is to have some internal facilitation. So it is being used internally only. Okay, the next characteristic is that there is a cause effect study. So if something is happening in the organization, the reason for the same has to be identified. Or if some decision is being taken, what will be the impact, that has to be studied. So it is being facilitated in management accounting. For example, if there is an excess loss which has recorded in the books of accounts for a particular period, then we have to identify what is the reason for that excess loss that is being facilitated in management accounting, or that has to be happened in the organization. Why? Because the mere recorded information or historical information will not be facilitating the organization in any way, or will not help the organization to improve or improvise their activity. So in management accounting, we are identifying the relationship between the activity and its impact. Then the next characteristics is the achievement of organizational objective. Okay, let me explain it with one example. In management accounting, we are using a concept of standard costing, where, okay, I'm not going to accounting. Let me explain it with a real-time example. You have set a target or a standard of achieving 80% mark for your examination. You have set a target and you are studying to get that 80% mark. Then after the studies, you wrote the examination and you have scored only 60% mark, which means that the actual is 60% and the standard or the target what you have set is 80%. So there is a gap of 20%. So in mere accounting, You have recorded the 60 percentage and the 80 percentage. But in management accounting, you are comparing this actual with the standard, that is 60 with 80, and you are identifying what contributed to this decrease or gap or difference in the actual mark what I have generated or what I have achieved. This will help. Okay, this will help the organization to identify that gap, and the reason for that gap can be identified, which will help the organization to what will be the help or advantage of the analysis of your mark. You'll be able to identify what has contributed to the difference. uh, there was a 20 percentage gap in your mark, so you have identified that I am not that good in that particular subject, so I have to invest more time, or I may have to personally contact the lecturer who is delivering that class so that I may improve that subject. Likewise, in the organization also, if they are able to identify that gap, they will be able to improve the performance of that particular segment or particular department which is lacking in achieving the standard or the desired objective. We are going to see the standard costing in detail in the coming chapter, so I am not going much into detail. Hope you have understood that point. We are moving to the sixth and the last. Hope it is the last one. Yes, it's the last characteristic. Sixth characteristic, that is, it provides informations and decisions. As I told you earlier, management accounting is facilitating the management. It's only a facilitation. Just like the teachers are delivering the information or giving them the information or guiding them to the right path, it is the students who are taking the decision whether to go in this path, whether to study and all. Likewise, in the case of management accounting also, it provides only information to the management, and it is up to the management that to take proper decision based on the accounting information which is getting out of management accounting tools. So the entire decision or the decision making process is still up to the managers. The only tool or the only help which is getting from management accounting is that they are getting ample amount of processed information which will be helping the managers to take informed decisions. Now we are moving to the objectives of management accounting. What is the purpose of implementing or having management accounting in the organization? So while you're going through the objectives of management accounting, you may come across various points or various objectives that are similar to the functions of management. Why? Because it is a tool which is assisting the management. So you're moving to the objectives. First one is planning. So planning is an activity of forecasting the future action. Here in management accounting, we are using the cost and management accounting information to prepare a forecast of what the activities will be or how the activities will be, and which will help the organization to prepare short term and long term policies. The second objective of management accounting is to coordinate or coordinating. The various departmental activities are being coordinated with the help of management accounting. Various budgets, different departmental budgets are being prepared based on the master budget what we are preparing, that we will be discussing in the next chapter. And as we are preparing standards for each departments based on the overall standard what we are fixing for the organization, it also will help the organization to coordinate the activities of different departments or different segments in the organization. Then the third objective of management accounting is controlling. So, as you have studied earlier, controlling is a process of looking backwards, or we are comparing the actual with the standard what we have fixed, or the planned activities are being compared with the actual output. Here also in management accounting, controlling is facilitated through the process of standard costing and budgetary control. These two things are going to be discussed in the coming chapters, so I am not going much into detail. In standard costing, we are fixing a standard, and that standard will be compared with the actual what we are producing or incurring. So, such kind of comparison will help the organization to find out whether there is any deviation or any variance in the actual course of action or productivity or cost of the organization. The next objective of management accounting is financial analysis and interpretation. As I told you in the initial phase of this chapter, that management accounting is a tool or a device used to interpret or analyze and interpret the recorded information. So, the recorded information which is available from the financial accounting and cost accounting is being analyzed using the different tools of management accounting, and it is made, or an output is generated in such a way that it is understandable to the management, and which is giving some meaningful information to the management. So here we are analyzing the raw information from the cost and financial accounting, and it is analyzed and some output or interpretation is generated. For what? It is being given to the management for facilitating the decision making. Then the fifth objective is to motivate the employees. So I will explain how this management accounting is going to motivate the employees. For example, if you are given with a particular task which has to be accomplished within a set time limit, say for example you have to complete a task within 1 hour, and you are able to complete or accomplish that activity within that time limit of 1 hour. So suppose I have given that activity to you, then I will be highly satisfied as you are able to complete that activity within a period of within a time limit of 1 hour. So what I will be doing, I will be giving some incentive or motivational things. So I may be uploading you, or I may be giving a small gift to you, so that you will be satisfied, or you will be recognized for the efficiency with which you have completed that particular activity. Likewise, in the organization also, in management accounting, a target or a standard is being fixed to the employees. So you have learned it in chapters like labor and all. A standard time is fixed to the employee, or a standard productivity is fixed to the employee, and if that employee is able to achieve the target or standard, he will be given with some motivation, some incentives, or some kind of monetary benefit, so that the employee is getting motivated for the work what we has performed. Now you are going to see the functions of management accounting. It's almost similar to what we have discussed in last slides, that is objectives of management accounting. So I'll be quickly going through the functions. So first one is planning and forecasting. So management accounting helps the managers to plan the future course of action. Why? Because he is having a lot of information which is available from the financial accounting and cost accounting, based on which he has analyzed how the future will be, or he may be having a forecasted information or forecast of what the course of action which the organization is going to face in the coming future. So, based on that forecasted information, he can make a plan, whether it is a long term plan or short term plan, which is going to be pursued in the organization for the coming period. Then the second function is that financial analysis and interpretation. This also we have seen in the last few slides. Management accounting will help, or the management accountant will analyze the cost accounting and financial accounting information, and he will have his own interpretation of the processed information. The raw data which is available from the financial accounting and cost accounting will be processed, and he may communicate that processed information with his own comments or his own interpretation to the management, saying that these are the outputs what we have generated through the usage of management accounting tools, and the opinions and the interpretations will be communicated to the managers. Then the third function of management accounting is managerial control. As we have seen in the last few slides, the control is being facilitated with the help of management accounting tools. Why? Because as we are preparing various departmental and individual standards or targets, and the targets for the entire organization as a whole, we will be able to compare the actual productivity or the actual output or the actual cost with that standard cost or output or productivity, so that we are able to have a control over the managerial activities. Next function is communication. That is, it's almost similar to what we have seen in the last slide, where the management accountants are supposed to prepare a lot of reports which may assist both the top level managers and the middle level managers, that is the department level heads, so that they can, or they will be able to make informed decisions. Then fifth function is coordinating. As I told you earlier, we may be preparing a master budget, and based on that master budget we will be segregating or separately preparing different departmental budgets, so that the organization may be able to coordinate the different departmental activities which is in line with the overall organizational objective or overall organizational plan. Then the sixth function is decision making. Certain strategic decision has to be made by the organization during certain times. Say, for example, whether I have to make or buy a particular item, or whether I should continue with the existing product or should continue stop that particular line of activity or line of product, or whether I should expand to a new area of operation or diversify into a different area of business activity. Such decisions will be made by the organization based on the informations which are available from the management accounting
outputs. So we may be discussing only very few accounting tools in this session, but there are n number of tools which are available in management accounting, which are facilitating the managers to take strategic decisions like make or buy decisions, expand business expansion, diversification, stoppage of activities, etc.